Representative Post, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Probably both the questions I think were kind of answered, but I just want to make sure that I mention this. Kimberly, both you and Gail, the two things that stuck out was vigilantism, data mining. I think it's already been asked. I would love to see some numbers on the percentage of vigilantism that's happened in America and in Oregon specifically, because that was your lead, vigilantism, which is a big headline and very scary. And I kind of don't like that kind of lead. I'd like to see numbers. If we're going to say vigilantism, I want to see some, because that's a very scary proposition. And if it's not a huge number, that bothers me a lot. Because I know there are a number of sex offenders, and there are a huge number of traffickers in Oregon right now, and that really bothers me, the amount of human trafficking that's going on. And if I can give the police and the general public a tool, I'm going to give them that tool. So it's not a question, I'm sorry, it's a statement. But to lead with vigilantism and data mining compared to human trafficking and sex offenders, I'm having a hard time with that. And frankly, I don't know who put this thing out, but that it's fascist, I don't know who did this, but this is garbage. Thank you.
We've had victims up here. We've had victims of the church rapes of those priests. We've had women victims of rape. We've had people have been molested as a child. As a cop, one of my worst nights ever was when a 9-month-old was raped. And I could hardly wait to get home to open the bottle of scotch that night. I have seen the souls, young women with their souls ripped out that have been molested. I've been to rehab events where every woman in there said they'd been molested as a child. I've been in the women's prison and in the youth prisons. Virtually all those girls have been molested as children. And for you to complain about being on the list doesn't compare to that, compared to the suffering those people went through. And I mean, you kind of outraged me over that. It's just such a horrific crime that does so much damage. And these girls that are prostitutes, many of them, that's where they got sidetracked, was they were molested by, and you're right, not by the stranger, but by the uncle or the family friend. They're the people, the girls that are drugged out. They had this horrific incident happen, which is not just a one-time deal, and maybe it was a one-time deal for the offender. I question that we don't catch them. But that is so horrific. And again, whether we're talking about the registration or not, it's a different subject. But that is a horrific crime, and I'm not very sympathetic to somebody complaining about being on the list. If you could, I guess you could probably tell that. Representative Stark, please.
Right.